If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, or share with your friends. Or you know what? Leave a comment. We love comments, whether they're good or bad. Haters,
please. We love you.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Not Your Asian Women podcast. I'm Christine Chang.
I'm Shining.
Today, we're going to talk about finding your purpose.
How to be motivated.
Do you know your purpose?
That's kind of hypocritical episode because I'm trying to find my purpose.
Are you being serious? Because I am too.
I think I shift career priorities as I get to know myself more. I'm more flexible and in that sense. I don't have a fixed goal I have to do. Just kind of go with the flow more. I know roughly the destination I want to go and how I want to make other people feel. And not everybody, just people I care about, my family, my friends. And other than that, I don't think I have a purpose and I have to have it now.
Can you answer this question? Why do you think that you're here?
Dang, we're getting deep. Why do I think? Because my parents had sex. That's such a deep question. Sometimes like existential. I go back and forth on that. Sometimes I feel like everybody has a purpose. We're brought to this life. We need to reach our potential. And sometimes I feel like we're just existing. We're like animals.
Like all this is meaningless.
Meaningless. And that's why the purpose is to you put meaning to this life. And we're all animals. And we're all trying to find the best survival way. And so I go back and forth on that take, and I don't think everybody has to have a purpose, and I don't think you have to put a meaning in life. Just live and don't die.
Or you could die.
Yeah, then that's game over.
Yeah.
But
you will die.
Yeah. What about you? What do you think?
Because someone asked me that recently, and it took me a minute to think about, but it actually came through pretty clear. Why am I here? I'm here to help make people feel and to help them feel connected. And I was actually kind of surprised at how quick I came up with that. And like you, I don't take life too seriously. And then this is a short trip for us. I'm going to be in this form, this consciousness, this body for not that long. So what do I want to do while I'm here? And I think about that. So it's to help make people feel and feel connected. I think about what's important to me. Like if I was on my deathbed, what I'd be thinking about. And it's the impact I had on others, my family, those closest to me, the impact we had on each other. It's all relationships, close relationships. And I've struggled with that too. I've struggled with intimate relationships, and I've done a lot of work to try to optimize and make them the best, like healing my heart, opening up, softening. And this is with your parents, like the hardest ones, right? And it's really important to me. So everything that I do, my work, my personal relationships, I try to keep that in mind, that I want to inspire people to do that. And I photographed wedding for 15 years. And in my work too, there's feeling in that. It's not just me picking up a camera and taking pictures of things. It's me transferring the way that I feel through the camera, and it's freezing a moment that I see and that I feel. I don't just see it with my eyeballs, I feel it. And I think that's what makes my photography work stand out. At least the people who like it and hire me, they're able to see that. And whatever work I'm doing, that feeling needs to be a part of it. If I'm just doing just to do, and I understand this is a very privileged thing. Not everyone can do that, right? get to choose to do that. But if I have choice, everything that I do work related is going to be me expressing my heart and my feeling.
That's good. Yeah. For the short time I've known you, that does describe you. And you do take the best photos of me.
You know what the trick is? What do you think the difference is between other photographers that you shot with and me taking photos of you?
You capture the most authentic moment, natural. There's not much Photoshop. It's just, I don't look the prettiest per se. They are studio shot photos of me that are more, I guess,
like
pleasing,
prettier,
flattering. But there is a connection with the photo that you took of me, and candid. I wasn't posing, and that's good. And then you should shout out your photographer.
My
page,
website?
IG.
Oh yeah, Christine Chang Photo. Chang is spelled Chang.
And pause and take a look, and you see it. The Instagram photos that she took, you can feel connection through that photo, and telling like a story, people laughing, having a great time, and not just posing photo. So you can feel that connection. So definitely that describes you. And it is very privileged to know your purpose at all. Some people live their whole life drifting and soulless, and they don't really know. And it's really sad. But I mean that for me, how I got to comedy was because I noticed a pattern that I couldn't hold down a job. I was either fired or I just said fuck you and I left. And I realized, hey, maybe working in a cubicle isn't my purpose. I had to do a lot of things to filter out what I don't like. That was how I operated first 30 some plus years of my life. And it was depressing. But I had to do that to know, oh, this isn't for me. And for the longest time, I thought, oh, dang, am I a loser? Like, what is this going on? Like, everybody else seems to work pretty good and consistently in their career. And now they're in like middle management. And I'm still drifting from like job to job. And I started like doubting myself, and that sent me to depression. And I had to take a really good look at myself, and had to take some accountability. And through like I hit rock bottom, and I didn't like that how I felt. And but without being through that, I wouldn't know, oh shit, I can say some funny shit and people seem to like it. And it wasn't even the purpose I was looking for. It just happened through doing. I had no idea videos I post on the internet, people will find connection, and people find like it's funny, and it's really heartwarming when people say, oh, I've had a bad day, and it's the best to get home from long day of work, get ice beer, and listen to you talk shit. And that makes me feel really good. So I know, oh, okay, at least for now, this is what I love to do. When I get feedback from, oh, you made my day, and not even knowing who this person is. And that gives me fulfillment. And I talk about, I don't give a fuck about nobody. But like it does, it is kind of, I don't even know how to explain this for people that are in creative field or like in front of camera. Everybody can agree when you see comments like that, it makes your work worth it, because we're doing this for free, not for money. And comedy pays dog shit. And anyone in the creative field knows writing is lonely, it's painful. And comedy is essentially putting the most vulnerable side of you out in the public. And that hurts when nobody laughs. And we all had to go through that. But that little laugh, it really is worth it. I've drove 6 hours just to get a 5-minute stage time, no pay. And I was like, that was the happiest I could. And on the way, when I do good sets, it's like pure ecstasy moment. And it's like I have this like joke of I don't know if God is real or not, but there were times when I said, oh God, please, I don't ever want to work for money. But here I am, working for no money. Sponsor us. But that's like true with people in my field. We all doing this out of love, and I don't know any. I don't want to put too much of like purpose or like life meaning into this, but just now it's what's making me feel good, and I want to continue to do that. Maybe someday other opportunities will come along, but I think the baseline is like a connection, and make people just feel a little better about their shitty day, and feel like they're not alone. Because there was a video I did. I exposed myself like I was a fucking weird, goofy ass girl back in junior high, that I was unattractive and just so weird that when I see other popular girls get chocolate and flowers on Valentine's Day, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to buy myself chocolates and flowers and pretend I have secret admirers. I was so goofy. I sent myself all kinds of like chocolate and flowers and cards on Valentine's Day. And then because male guys will deliver in class, so other people would know, and I would pretend, hey, I got secret admirers too. And this boy caught me out. He said, "Huh, that's weird. All the cards have same handwriting." So I wrote a bit about it, and it had like 1 million views or something, and thousands of comments, and all the girls like, thank God I'm not alone. I used to do that shit too. So that made me really happy. And to it just sound like weird things. My purpose wasn't to make people feel sorry or bad for me, or I didn't even think nothing of it. In the moment, I wanted to expose myself, and I kind of, like just share to whoever want to see this and that goofy side of me. And so yeah, a lot of videos that I made or jokes that I've told from that perspective has always surprisingly done well. But if I think too much of what I'm doing or other people would see, or what is this goal or purpose of it, it doesn't work well for me. But if I'm just being open and sharing and not think anything of it, usually that surprisingly connect with people more. So and now I've just operated my current life with not much of a goal. It just go with flow and then be open and try to share as much as I can, and see, if I make somebody's day and make them laugh, and that's good enough for me.
Strong Coffee Company, what do you think?
This is perfect for lazy bitches like me. You can just pour the powders in and put hot water. You wouldn't believe it. My eyes was smaller than this. But after that, I'm awake.
Use code.
Oh, yeah.
What's our code? Not Your Asian Women at
Yeah.
checkout for a nice little discount.
Enjoy your new crack.
Making those videos that you put on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, when you started doing those during the pandemic, right?
Yes.
Where did you get the courage to do that? Because some people, it might occur to them like, oh, this is an interest of mine, but it's scary to put yourself out there. Did you naturally just have the courage? Like, I'm going to be curious. I'm going to upload this and see what people think. Did you have hesitation?
My only hesitation was, no, before that I didn't. And then when I started gaining a lot of followers and I see death threats and shit like that, my only concern was, oh shit, stalkers, where I gotta remove my address, I gotta delete LinkedIn and shit like that. But I didn't think fear of how other perceive me wasn't a thing to me at all. And because I don't know, that comes natural to me. It's not like a courage or something. It's just I tend to overshare and make silly faces, and I'm not afraid of make a joke off of myself to make other people laugh, or laugh at myself is very easy. So that comes natural to me. So comes back to the topic of this pod. Finding your purpose is what comes easy to you.
There is an ease to it. When you're in alignment, it does feel easy. And like you said with your comedy, driving 6 hours, some people would be like, what, just for that? But when you're in it, you're willing to do anything.
Yes.
Anything for that feeling. You know it. And similar, my sister would say when I was doing destination weddings, and the workload is a lot, but it didn't feel like it to me. So we'd be on vacation and I'm editing photos. I'm excited. I'm about to blog. I want to share this next thing. And she's getting ready to go to the beach. And she says, sis, you work really hard. I said, do I? Because it doesn't feel like it, or it didn't at the time. It came to a point where it did start feeling like work. I had been doing it for over 10 years, 15 years. It started to feel like work. And that's when I realized there's a shift happening here. I'm growing. I've reached a plateau. Photographing weddings doesn't feel in alignment anymore. And that whole journey has been tough. So in the beginning of this episode, when we were talking about, like, are you finding your purpose again? Deep down, I know the common thread of what it is. as far as how that's manifested into this world is what I've been experimenting with. And I do best when I have clarity, or at least I feel the best when I have clarity of what direction I'm going to. What am I aiming for here? I'm not really like a floater. You know, I need a general idea. And so that's been hard for me. But I'm getting more clear. And I've been doing things. I wrote during when the pandemic started. That was the nudge for me because events just disappeared. So it forced me. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not photographing any events because I can't. What am I going to do with my time? So I have a writer in me. I blogged for over 10 years. I always wanted to publish a book. And so during the pandemic, I published a book. It's called Show Up, Finding Love for Independent Women, and it's available on Amazon. And it's to help modern women have the conversation about dating. I've had so many conversations with women where it's a difficult landscape now, especially for high-performing women. And I know exactly who I was talking to because that used to be me before I met my husband. I had trouble with dating. I lacked confidence in that area. I lacked clarity in that area. But all other facets of my life seemed really easy. So I did the introspection. What's going on here? So through the 5-6 years of personal growth, I got a lot of clarity, and I got clear on who do I have to be to create what I want? What do I have to heal so that when a relationship doesn't work out, I don't make it about me? My world used to come crashing down. It wasn't just disappointment. It was, I'm not good enough. Oh my God, he chose someone else. And the pain that was there, it stems from childhood. It had to be healed. So I went on this journey. Anyways, I put it into a book. And then at the end of each chapter, I ask questions to help you get clarity of what do you actually want and what are you looking for? What are your pain points and what do you have to heal? And I share some of my personal stories because sometimes when people share their stories, you can see yourself in them. And I always found that helpful whenever I did personal growth, whether it's a seminar or a book, if someone was sharing their story and I could see myself in it, I'm like, oh, that's me. And this is what she did. So it's kind of a blueprint, you know, a guide. I wrote that book. And again, it came from the heart. You know, it's not me being technical. This is what you have to do. It's me and my shared experience helping guide you if you might be on that hamster wheel as well. It's very frustrating if you're there. I understand all the emotions. So I wrote the book, and then I have another podcast called Show Up with Christine Chang that went along with the book, talking about relationships and personal growth. And through the process, I realized, you know, this is something that my soul said, like, I want to get this out into this world. Do I want to be known for it? If I had a tombstone, which I wouldn't because I want to get cremated. Why would you want to be buried and like worms eat you? But anyways, if I had a tombstone, what would I want to be known for? What would I want on there? And Christine Chang relationship coach is not it. It's not it, but it was something that I wanted to get out, and now I'm moving on to other things. And that's been something I've had to be very forgiving of myself for, because I have been hard on other people who have not committed to things. I think I get it from my parents, like choose something and follow through, because if you follow through, you will eventually get good at it, you know, and succeed at it. But just being forgiving, like, this is okay. I did it. I've learned it's not enough. And then now I'm going to do the next thing. And I think successful people, they realize when something is a no, and then they move on to the next thing.
Yeah, agreed. I had to struggle to come to this point too. The way that helped myself with this struggle is not everybody is Jeff Bezos. Not everybody is Kobe. Not everybody is, you name it. If you're not them, are you less of a person? Should you just die? I don't think so. The value, yes, we are in a capitalistic world, and that's just what it is. You can say good or bad about it, but to me, it's a waste of fucking energy to debate. It's just what it is. And people who do put consistent work and have the most wealth is most respected, and people want to know what their life's about, and we put success on how much we can measure. And unfortunately, being a nice person is not measurable.
Right.
You can't measure that. So our brains are simple. We need to be able to see measurement. And simplest way is how much money you can make.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just society works. I used to get so caught up on that one measurement. And if you're not that, you're not valuable. And if you not top of your class, that's so fucking Asian. Because we measure, this kid is a good kid by, straight A's and piano and doing all kinds of shit, going to Ivy Elite school, and how much money you bring. And then when you hit certain age, you have a big family, you have kids, you're picture perfect. And guess what? That's just fucking unrealistic. A lot of people, it's unobtainable goal. And then sometimes that it's not the same measurement for everybody. And that doesn't say the janitor of Google or Amazon is a less of a human being than Jeff Bezos. It just so happens that Jeff Bezos is contributes in this way that we can see, and we call that success. But the thing is, like, I got out of that loop and be able to, because I don't view like money is a big part of success. Of course, I'm not gonna fucking be naive about, money can't buy happiness. That's, I'm not naive like that. And money does solve a lot of problems, and money is good. It's good to have money. But isn't everything, obviously. Like you said, before my deathbed, what do I want? And from a lot of research, and then this book and of like this long-term care nurse, and she wrote a book, and she's been like a bedside assistant for like decades, and then she wrote a book and then said top 5 regrets are always, I wish I spent more time with my family. I wish I had called her or reconnected. And then it's always about family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
None of them said, I wish I made more money. I grind more. But the thing is, like, as you're, in your early age, and you do want to grind, but just keep in mind that they are many valuable things that seem free, like love or relationship or your family time. You think it's always there, but yeah, unfortunately, like fucking people die. You don't really like know it until. But this is the thing, is like we are at older age, and we've experienced loved ones getting sick or passing, so we know that that's important to value. And that's how I got out of that judgment, because I used to be like that too, of if that person is not consistent, what a loser. And that comes back to bite me, because everybody would go through a rock bottom, and it's easy to judge other people, not until we go through that and we develop that compassion towards ourselves and other people. So yeah, that's like one. First, not don't judge yourself, and there's no one way of, like, everybody's journey is different. There's not one destination. So it's easy to say don't compare yourself, but really is like that. And know that, if not everybody is Jeff Bezos, which is fine. There's CEOs, directors, middle managers, and people that need to work to make things happen with their hands. And that whole structure is what makes the whole, company or society grow. So everybody has their use. It's not like one is better. How to find your place, it really, like one, you said, heal yourself, and then take a good look at yourself, like what comes easy to you. Everybody has strength, and what is like a common sense to you, but you see that other people seem to struggle about. Maybe like start there. Like some people are naturally giving. It's just easy they want to take care of people. They're just more like nurture than, I mean, like through like volunteer work or community work. There are jobs that do pay to to take care of people, if that comes easy to you. And some people like to create and more, free flow, and not afraid to take a risk or put themselves out there. That maybe like there are ways. Internet, that's one thing like helpful about internet. You can find people that do all kinds of things and you can relate to. So, yeah. What else do you think people can find?
I'm trying to think of like tangible things that would be helpful that one can do. I do think finding what comes easy to you, but also that you enjoy too. That you enjoy doing it. I do think really healing, not caring what people think. Because I think a lot of people don't go after their dreams because they're afraid of what people will think. You could fail at it. For example, with Asian entertainment, I am writing a movie and I want to direct it as well. That is scary for me to say because it could not go well. Who knows what can happen? I could fail at this, and it's very scary to say, but it's something that I want to do. I'm going to put it out there. And getting over all those emotions, I do think that stops a lot of people from trying new things and doing what they really want to do. If you're raised in a pretty traditional household, where it's 9 to 5 and more practical, like work is work, and then your hobbies and everything, your life is separate. Maybe working for yourself just feels so unfamiliar and scary. Like, how do I do this? And it comes with a lot of responsibility too, obviously. So getting out of your comfort zone to do it. But I think mapping out worst case scenario too, because you want to be smart about it. I'm not going to say just quit your job. You can do it and go after your dreams. There's reality like money. And if you have a family, there are things to consider. But mapping out worst case scenario, what if this fails? Do I have an alternate source of income? Am I willing to go wait tables or bartend? And some people are just so embarrassed that they wouldn't want to do that they'll just say no to it. But I think that's the amazing thing about living in this country. If you want to work, there's work for you. And some people aren't willing to do that. I'm not willing to work at a cafe. It's embarrassing or for whatever reason they might have. But I'm like, there is a job there for you where you can have some sort of income. So I just see that as opportunity, because there are some countries where you want to work and you can't even find a job. There's no opportunity. I went to Sierra Leone in Africa. A lot of these kids, they want to learn, they want to read, and the school doesn't even have books. They don't have any books. They don't have candles at night so that they could even read or write if they wanted to. Here we do have that. We have the resources. I went off on a tangent. Anyways, but yeah, it does take courage to go after your dreams. But I've also seen people do things though. They'll do a lot of things, but they truly won't stick to anything. And that you're just set up to fail as well. I do think in general, if you really want to excel at something, you need to focus and pick one thing. If you truly want to succeed at it, after you succeed at it, then you can start doing maybe some other things, but really try to focus on one thing. I think if you're trying to get a lot of things off the ground at once, it's difficult when your attention is pulled in different directions. So really, really committing to one thing. And whatever's stopping you, I've seen some patterns where some friends think that they need more education. I need more. Well, to do this, I'm going to have to take this course and I have to do more. Where I said, I think you have skill. Why don't you just start? But there's a feeling there where they feel like they need more credential for it. Where I think the way that I was raised, my parents gave me a lot of confidence and fearlessness in that area to just do it. You know, like, oh, I'll just do it. And I map out worst case scenario. What's the worst that can happen? And I didn't realize that until I had some people say, like, you really are fearless when it comes to this. But I don't have a second thought about it, right? Similar to you. Just do like, let me upload this video and see what people think, right? The worst case is, oh, you might look a little stupid, or take down the video. Oh, I learned something. I don't believe in regrets. I think everything we do serves us. As long as you learn something from it, it'll serve you. So that'd be a tip, is just to, start doing, but you do have to stick it out with something. Like the book, the dating coaching, I tried it for a couple years, and it took a couple years, and I did benefit from that time. But I did realize, I said, no, this is not what I want to be known for. But the common thread under all the things I put out seemed to be relationship, connection, and I like love. I like love a lot. And so I think the movies that I'm going to do are going to have some underlying theme of relationships or love. Yeah.
Yeah, agree. I think a lot of people who stop or are afraid to try things or tap into that is because of fear of making mistakes or looking foolish, look like a failure.
It's embarrassing to be a newbie.
And it really is like only you put that much emphasis on it. Everybody has struggles in lives, and we all think about ourselves. Most of the time when we think about things, we think about ourselves. And it doesn't matter. People don't put that much emphasis on. Do you like say, like, if you were in a show and somebody made a mistake and then didn't dance well or tripped, you don't think about it. You go home, and then the next day you have your own issues you got to deal with and work. And only that person who tripped would feel cringe or embarrassed and hold on to that. So when I reached that age where I understood that, it sounds like negative, but it really is. Nobody gives a fuck about what you do. And you put that emphasis on, oh, I'm looking foolish, and people don't care. And that's how I was able to work over my anxiety. And because embarrassing yourself on stage with just eyes staring at you, it is like dying. It feels like I'm dying. But slowly, I mean, and then I understand nobody's gonna go home gonna think about, oh, remember that Asian girl embarrassed herself? What a loser, fucking. And then they just talk about it all the time. I don't think about it. I don't think that that's what people do. And even if they did, which in comedy, as a comedian, it's better to make an impression than nobody even remembers you. So yeah, that's how I was able to look at mistakes or failure like the other way around, because there's always like two sides to things. And yeah, nobody really cares, so we all gonna fucking die, so might as well try what you always been wanting to do, but not putting people around you in like a financial jeopardy just because you're selfishly want to do something. You still want to take care of people, and if financial, you need to still
Be realistic about it.
And you need to you can't just, oh, I'm gonna take a second mortgage and fuck my wife and my kids because this is a dream I want now. Obviously not. Like, that just, you be the judgment of what that is, and then at least you still have safety, and you have roof over your head, and you can eat, or you're alone, and then you have connection, and people will allow you to crash on their couch, and then maybe that will give you more freedom to try your dream. But yeah,
I think focus on the feeling more so than like a numbers amount as well. Because, I mean, we do need a certain amount of money to live, and it's expensive now these days in the US, most of the US. But I've seen too many people who are textbook successful. They've made millions, and they're still not fulfilled and happy. When you experience that, like the fame or the money, you get to the point and you realize like that's not the end goal. Focus on your feeling first, and it leads you down the right path. And like Shining said, honestly, I really want to do like an award show, create an award show that honors people doing good from their heart. And there's a lot of good people just in your community that are giving back. And maybe they're not even on social media. Maybe they don't have a ton of followers. They're not making a lot of money, but they have a huge impact on what they're doing. And I want to acknowledge them for that, because the things we tend to award are, how famous are you? Did you make a movie that was big at the box office? All those things, which are also impressive. But some of those people are not good people too. I want to acknowledge people who are authentic, right? Giving back. And you feel it when you're in the room and with people like that, you really feel it. And that's one of the things I want to do. I have a lot of ideas right now. So when I was talking earlier about being spread in too many directions, I do need to focus and kind of do one thing at a time. And there's only so many hours in a day. So right now I'm getting my priorities straight of how I want to spend my time, balancing that out with having some money come in. So I'm doing still corporate photography, and kind of like in the NFT world, there's some good money in there. And it's so easy for me. A lot of these gigs are like 2 hours. I'm in and out, and I get paid well for it, and it still gives me the mental capacity and time to pursue other things. So I have some money coming in there. My dad, I am helping him with his business. That's a tough one because he's my dad and I do want to help. can I say that it's my passion? His business is not my passion, but I know my dad's not going to be around for much longer, and it's important to me, and it's temporary. He's 82, so it's not going to be much longer. And so some of my time's there. And then I have my other things like writing the script and doing things like that. So I, in time, will get all these things done. I feel a lot better now. Before I was lost and depressed actually for some time because I didn't feel connected. That's a big one, because if you don't feel, anything you do is not going to bring you joy. You don't feel connected to it. So I wasn't feeling. So that was kind of my goal. I'm like, I need to feel connected again. So what does that entail? How do I? And there is a lot of healing to be done. And it's if you've ever done healing work, it's not you heal and then you're good for the rest of your life. Things continue to happen where you have to address them, and their blind spots come up too, like, oh, I actually didn't know I had something, there was a blockage with this. So I continue to work on that as well. And it does get better. If you're in that place, it does get better, but you have to be willing to do the things and move forward and grow and learn, instead of just, if you're just sitting there not proactive, not changing, of course things are going to stay the same.
Yeah, and there's like also you're focusing too much on feelings. That can go wrong too.
Yes.
There's a balance to things.
Yes. I think that's self-awareness too, because if you can't just act on any feeling, right? Because if you're not healed and you act on a feeling, just say if it's like relationship, we're talking relationships here, but it's a trauma bond or something like that. Of course, that's not good for you. So having the awareness of, is this feeling healthy and in my best interest?
If you're easily triggered, you can't manage your anger. You'll lash out. You go do your work first. Mm-hmm. Don't be bringing pain to other people. And relationships or jobs or whatever it is, it's a distraction to you. And eventually it will tenfold your pain. So slowing down and put a pause on what you're doing and understand your nervous system, balance your nervous system, and then get back on the road again. That is not a failure. To acknowledge that you need help or knowing that they're your vulnerabilities and then they are just things you're not good at is not weakness. So I think that can help you go forward better. It's like, with just like physical pain, right? And if you have a broken ankle, you'll not go, oh, I'm just going to keep running because I ain't no bitch. That's dumb. It's going to hurt you. You're going to hurt more. And it's not going to, you're not going to get to your destination that way. Take the time to heal or acknowledge, this is something fucked up in my nervous system. I need to get help first and then go on. So I think some people find purpose by just free floating and doing a lot of things and learn from it. And some people need to take a pause and look at themselves more clear and have a clear blueprint. And some people model what other people are doing. They're more of a supporter. They'll find somebody and support their dream. They're a builder. They don't really have a clear goal, but they are so good at giving and help others fulfill their dreams. All are purpose and different way of living, like your self journey. It doesn't say less of you if you're not you don't fit the society norm of what success is now. So yeah, just get healed, and then in time you will find your purpose. And it's okay to be unmotivated at times. I feel like these past 3 years, I don't know what happened. And a lot of people have the same feeling that what the shit just happened, and you woke up and it's like 2024. And what did the time go? What did I do? It's all a blur, and people feeling like lost and losing purpose and then meaning of life, which is, I feel like, normal. Maybe it's good to kind of slow down and just figure shit out first.
I agree, because I think pre-pandemic, a lot of people were truly on autopilot. Got to do. And then the pandemic made us stop and think, like, wait, what's actually important here? Why am I doing this? So I think in that sense, it's been good for people. But it doesn't feel good to feel lost. But at the same time, this whole find your purpose thing, if you put too much weight on it as well, maybe not everyone has a strong purpose. And usually I think it's actually probably a really simple.
Yeah. Sometimes I go through that phase too. Like, can I just exist? Why do I have to have a purpose?
I mean, if you look at nature, everything that's not human is just existing.
Yeah. And maybe some people just don't need to be driven or what's the word? Ambitious. Some people are not ambitious at all. Yeah, they're happy.
Yeah, purpose doesn't have to be like a go grind. I mean, some people, their purpose is to have a family, and they're super happy doing it. And actually, for some women, I've heard after they have kids, the clarity comes, whether it's to be the mom or they think about how they want to show up to be a role model for that kid.
Some, not all.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah, right.
That's another episode we can talk about. Comment below if you have crazy new moms.
Oh my God, that episode's gonna, like, two women who are not moms talking about that.
Can't wait.
But I have heard, I do know, I have some friends who were depressed and kind of lost, and then they had kids, and then their depression went away. I think because it all of a sudden became not about them anymore. They weren't so focused on themselves. Their energy started going somewhere else.
Agreed, 100%. And that's actually how I got out of depression as well. I didn't put too much emphasis on myself, how I feel, how everybody makes me feel. And I wanted to do more for my friends, for my family. And it's not about you. It's if you can focus in on how to be of a service to other people, community, that can really help. So yeah,
I do think a good, I mean, who's to say what's good or a bad purpose, but I do think a healthy, good purpose is typically bigger than yourself. It's not just for you. It is bigger than you.
Yeah, for sure. Agree. That will, your happiness, your wealth, whatever that is success to you will last longer. Like you have more fulfillment other than just, how I feel, my goal, me. Yeah.